Hi everyone and welcome back to today's video. So in today's video I wanted to show you how I do graphic liner. It's a how-to. This is a wiki how. And if you haven't been here before, I would like to take a few seconds to ask you to subscribe to this channel. Graphic liner has been immensely popular all over Instagram and stuff like that. I feel like euphoria probably also has something to do with it. Like, graphic liner is just such a look in a way. It's very edgy, very modern, but it's also not too much of a hassle, so it's really quick and easy once you get used to it. I do want to mention that I am absolutely not a professional at this. I am also not the best person at this, but throughout the few graphic looks that I've done, I've been kind of learning what to do and what not to do. I have already done my morning skincare, so moisturizer, hyaluronic acid, and my sunscreen is currently on my face. So I kind of want to jump straight into base makeup instead of eyes, because I do need a little bit of a tackiness to the eyes, because I am going to use a one shimmer shadow for this kind of look. Because that just really gives a nice touch to the eyes. So the first product that I want to use is the Fenty Beauty Soft Silk Pro Filter Hydrating Primer, and this is just to give my skin a little bit of extra hydration, and also because I don't really have much of this product left, so I'm trying to empty it, and that is always such a good feeling. My bag full of empties is getting quite big, like full. So I'm thinking about doing an empties video soon, so if you want to see that, hook me up. So that is the primer applied, and then right now I want to use the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow foundation, and I have the shade Fresh Ivory. I'm using this foundation today because I really want a nice and glowy foundation. I'm going to take my Fenty sponge and I'm going to dip in the product. We're just going to apply this to the face, and you're going to see that it gives a really nice glowiness to the skin. This is honestly my favorite foundation right now. So that is the foundation applied, and next up I want to go with concealer. I'm actually going to use two concealers today because of no particular reason. I just want to use two concealers today. So I'm going to use the Essence Camouflage Plus Concealer. So this is like the Healthy Glow one. And then I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. So I'm taking the Revolution one and I'm going to do a triangle. I'm so sorry, but it's going to be a triangle today. So the Revolution one kind of almost melts into my skin, and then I take a little bit of the Essence one at the very top of the concealer to kind of brighten that area. There's hardly anything coming off, so I have a really good feeling that this is almost empty. So I stopped recording. I don't know exactly where, but I'm just blending out the concealer foundation, and I'm also going to take this concealer onto my eyes, onto my on my eyelids, to kind of give it that tackiness that I was talking about later. I don't want to necessarily use a eye primer or eyeshadow primer for that, like the P. Louise one. So next up we're going to do bronzer, and I'm going to use one of my favorites. This is the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Butter Biscuit. Oh my gosh! Look at, wait. You're welcome. And I'm gonna take the e.l.f. small stipple brush. This is gonna give me a little bit more precision than other brushes. And we're just gonna stipple that. And I'm gonna do this first because when we do the graphic liner later, I'm gonna take the graphic liner like almost at my brow bone, so when I do bronze, I risk it coming off. Next up I'm going to do blush, and for that I'm going to use the Nude Stick Salty Siren blush. And again, instead of kind of applying this straight onto my face, I'm going to take my e.l.f. brush and we're just going to apply it like this, because I find that applying it straight on top of the skin is just delivering too much pigmentation. I hope you can't hear the people working outside. It's always something here in this household. Then for highlight, I want to use the ABH Liquid Glow one, because I discovered that this is nearly empty. Like, look at this. It's nearly empty, so I really want to get the most out of this and chuck it into my empty bag once it is done. I'm going to take a little bit of that on the back of my hand, take the side of my Fenty sponge and kind of do it like this. And then I'm putting in the product, and then I'm going to take that sponge and apply that to the cheeks, because otherwise it dries down onto the skin really quickly and it's impossible to blend out. I think if you have oily skin, for example, this highlighter will be a really nice one because it dries down really quickly and it doesn't really leave like any kind of emollient residue on your skin, so it won't make you look more oily in that aspect. So the final thing that I want to do to my base makeup is take the concealer that I mentioned before. So this is the Revolution one, and I'm just gonna draw a line underneath my cheekbone and drag it out to where I want it to be, to kind of create a little bit more sharpness, a little bit more dimension. So I do want you to be aware that if you're not using if you're not using this for pictures or for filming, for example, this looks kind of silly in real life, but I'm not gonna go out with this makeup, so I kind of want it to be real sharp. I'm feeling a sharp one, you know. I'm gonna take my sponge again and then just slightly blend that out. So the base makeup is done, and now I'm going to zoom you guys in to do the graphic eyeliner. I can see that it's about to pour cats and dogs outside. Welcome to the Belgian weather. Okay, so I have zoomed you guys in a little bit. I have quickly done my brows with the Benefit Gimme Brow to kind of give them a little bit of a shape. So next up, I'm going to use the UV eyeliner, and this is from Stargazer Cosmetics. It's just a random UK brand, and I purchased a few of their like neon liners once upon a time, and I actually really like them. So it's like a very fine tip, and it's like different brushes. So what I like to do is I like to make dots first as kind of like a guideline, and then in the end I like to connect them to create the graphic liner look. I personally find this the easiest way to do my graphic eyeliner looks, because you can also really design the shape that you want, customize it so you can erase one of the dots, you know. It's harder to erase lines than it is to erase dots when you mess something up. It's also important to note that I still mess up graphic liner looks so many times. So the first dot that I make is on the inner part of my eye. So I go basically between like this nose thing and my inner corners. Oh yeah, very important to note, I also always go above my own crease, and I go quite far up my own crease, so when my eyes fold, the eyeliner doesn't really touch with the skin, and then it will prevent any kind of creasing that might happen. So like this, and then I like to like right there, and then I put one a little bit further, again away from the brow bone, and then I continue kind of following the shape of my brow, which is also something that I find very easy. So once you put the first dots, you kind of follow the shape of your brow, but you leave like a few millimeters in between, so that way it's easier to kind of follow that curve. And once we get to the tip of the brow, so this is the final dot that I'm gonna make like this. Once we get to the tip of the brow, I'm gonna do like the eyeliner bit. So what I first do is I check where I want my tail, where it goes up, to be. So I kind of want it just past my brow. There we go. So in between where the final dot of the curve ended and the dot that you created for the tail, I'm gonna put another dot just so it's easier to connect. So now what I want to do is create the dots for the eyeliner part. So remember how you do eyeliner, it's always to the top of your brow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one on the outer corner. So right here, and right here. And now we have like this curve and the eyeliner part. And now all that we have to do is connect them. Connecting is also quite difficult, I do want to mention that. But you want to really take your time. So I'm going to start connecting on the inner part first. And then you do the same thing with the other parts of the eye. Okay, so the eyeshadow is, the eyeliner is done, and I have tried to make it as symmetrical as possible, which was really hard to do, to be honest. Every kind of graphic liner is kind of hard to do. So this is the very simple graphic liner look that I wanted to show you, basically like one line, but still it's really hard to get things symmetrical, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna take the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Mighty Morphin or in Ladybird. You can use either of these, to be honest. I think Mighty Morphin is a limited edition, so this is not available anymore, but I do think that Ladybird is a like permanent Super Shock in their collection. So I'm going to take a really tiny brush. This is the Nabla Lash Line Smudger, and I'm going to take Mighty Morphin first and basically load up my brush with this, and then we're going to apply that to the negative part, like the part where we didn't put anything really. Now I'm going to take Ladybird, which is a really shimmery pearl shade. And we're just going to take that onto like the middle part of the eye. Okay, so for the last thing of this makeup look, I'm just going to apply some mascara and a lip product. I'm going to apply a little bit of the Catrice Long Lasting Lip Pencil, and this is the shade Hey Macademia Ahey. Then I'm going to take an old classic lipstick. This is a MAC Mehir. Look at how much I have left. Look at how much I have left of this lipstick. Almost nothing. Isn't that insane? Oh, it's getting really dark all of a sudden. I'm going to apply a little bit of the e.l.f. Sheer Slick lipstick. This is basically a reddish shade, but it has quite a pink undertone. This is Orange Crush, because I kind of want to make this. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline. I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara, and that will be it for today's look. So that, guys, completes today's video. So this is the finished look. It just turned so incredibly dark outside right now, so I will probably have to end this video. So that, guys, completes today's look. This is the makeup look and this very simple graphic liner that I wanted to show you guys today. I hope you took some tips and tricks from this video as to how to create graphic liner, and most importantly, I hope you really enjoyed. And most importantly, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like and a comment to really support my channel. I will link every single product in this description box down below. You can use those links, but don't feel pressured to do so. But if you do, you will support this channel and help it grow. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye!